Alrighty then. Okay. Yeah.
My body is ready.
Look at him. His body is ready. His body is ready. I saw the Reggie meme now. He's so ready. Look at him. He's a 6-beer Bowser. This thing.
TePig.
Yeah, TePig. I've lost count of the. Oh no! TePig wants to. Yeah, okay, TePig. TePig's gonna stay with me because Victor's a bad father, and he's got a boo cap. So that means we're gonna.
And the shirt.
And a shirt. That is really rad. From Nintendo World. That I have yet been there. And, but my brother, he bought me like a Mario shirt. And he bought me a... Have you ever played Animal Crossing?
Yes.
KK Slider.
Yes.
He got me a little figurine from KK.
Maybe, for the last video, I'll wear my Nintendo World 8-bit original Metroid shirt.
I got that one too.
This is how I roll.
I got that one too.
You got that one?
I got that one too. Whoosh! I love that shirt. I love that shirt. That was an awesome shirt. TePig. But yes, we are talking now about the Nintendo conference, which ironically I am wearing still my N7 shirt because there is actually
my place and you don't have any clothes here.
Well, the thing is that it's funny because I'm getting ahead.
Go ahead.
TePig.
You got ahead. That's fine.
TePig.
I can have more Pokemon if you want. I got plenty more around here.
Pig. Damn it, Pig! But they announced Mass Effect 3, so this is official.
For the Wii U.
For the Wii U. Wii U. This may very well be the worst conference I've seen Nintendo do. It's definitely not the worst E3 conference because that's still synonymously held by Sony with the giant enemy crab. That was really fun. Historical accuracy, like ancient feudal Japan. So they got this giant enemy crab.
You hit it in his weak spot for massive damage.
You hit it in his weak spot. That's so revolutionary.
And don't forget, the same E3 press conference of Sony.
Ridge Racer! It's Ridge Racer, bitches! Kaz Karai, I almost forgot to mention, he didn't do anything. That's why he was so awesome. He was just sitting there. He's pimping as his new position as president of Sony. He's just there chilling like Reggie. His body's not as ready as Reggie's.
Reggie's body was ready.
Reggie was ready. No, I was saying I was very disappointed with this conference because I'm such a huge fan of Nintendo. Nintendo and I grew up together. Nintendo and I are in love, and they will never stop loving Nintendo. As Victor loves Nintendo, he wears his Nintendo swag proudly. But I was left speechless. Basically, I don't know what happened. They brought last year. They introduced the Wii U. We didn't get any information about the hardware, just the controller. Mm-hmm. Then this year they talked a little bit more about the controller. They showed us the hardware, at least an image or two. We know that the Wii U is a console.
Yes.
That it's not the controller itself. A lot of people actually thought last year the controller was the console.
They did show the console last year also.
Yeah, but that was later.
Images.
But not at the conference.
Yeah, it was there. Well, it was in images at the conference. I mean, they didn't physically take it out to show it because the controller was the main point.
Yeah, that's what they did last year.
There was in images, though.
But last year, they showed like a little bit more promise. They showed a Zelda, a Link tech demo.
Yes.
And they showed the potential of it being what they're calling like a true HD. They're sort of joining now the party of the current generation. So by the time the next generation comes, they'll be just getting into this HD era. But they said that the console is like 3 times more powerful than the Microsoft Xbox 360. So maybe they're joining the generation ahead of what they're currently at. But you wouldn't know that from watching this conference because
everyone's making games for the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
And nobody's
So-
making any games for
Exactly.
Nintendo.
Exactly.
They're not making any games for Nintendo. But
you have to make games for all the systems to make the most money possible.
But the thing is that they've always had this problem. Third party to do first party support. They've had really good games like Eternal Darkness, first party game.
I love that game,
for
by the way.
the GameCube. One of my favorite all-time games, Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, Silicon Knights. Look at that. Look at that. Deep into the... Oh, you know, recite it. Poe. Deep into the darkness peering. Long I've stood there, wondering. Come on.
Leering.
Doubting.
I thought it was leering.
Bitches!
You sure it was doubting?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last one was doubting.
Okay.
Mmm.
Knocking.
Take that.
Knocking.
Knocking, fearing. I don't know, but basically, yeah, they totally. Last year, they left us like wondering more than anything. What was the Wii U? Why was it going to be better in connectivity? What was going to be so good about the graphics, TePig? And then this year, they completely blew that opportunity. They didn't just blow it. They disintegrated that opportunity. I thought that they could have... well, let's see what they missed.
Well, let me tell you.
He actually thought it was the best conference.
I think it's the best conference.
And
here's,
he's going to explain us why, TePig.
I am going to explain. I'm not sure if you
Yeah.
saw this or not.
Yeah.
But
he's listening.
Nintendo actually had a pre-E3 conference on Sunday.
Yeah, the briefing.
Yes.
The small briefing.
And the key thing was that...
I didn't see the briefing.
It was good. There were two things that Nintendo had to prove.
Okay.
They had to prove with this console, no matter what.
Okay.
They already proved that they can do HD because third-party games wouldn't be touching it.
Yeah.
They couldn't do HD.
Yeah.
There were two things they had to prove. They had to prove that it had network architecture worth talking about, and they had to prove that third-party games were actually going to be on it.
Yeah.
Nintendo is the only of the three companies that can sell hardware based upon first-party software.
Yeah.
Sony and Microsoft, as good as their first-party software is, as much as the fans of those
It's
software
not as
hate
good
like
as
them,
never has been.
They can't sell their consoles off of it.
No.
Okay? When Nintendo Wii came out, it was pretty much 1-to-1 Zelda Twilight Princess with Wii sales. Almost everyone who bought it bought Twilight Princess, which means that Twilight Princess, because software sales push hardware sales, Twilight Princess pushed the Wii sales in the very beginning. Now, Nintendo doesn't need to prove their first-person software.
No, they don't.
They need to prove that they have third-person software,
Which has always been a problem.
for a long time.
For a long time, it's been a problem.
For a long time.
Not always, but they've always had issues having...
Like Fico here, I grew up with
Rareware.
Rareware.
I mean, they always did
Well,
great.
Rare was second party, so they were a separate company, but that was owned by Nintendo. Until they sold it to Microsoft.
And then they just...
And then they... Yeah, exactly.
As
We won't talk about that.
No,
we won't
that's
talk
separate.
But
Microsoft bullshit.
during the pre-E3 conference, they were showing off the network capabilities of the Wii U. And it was actually pretty impressive.
Okay.
Actually, it reminded me, or not reminded me, it made me, when I watched the Xbox One and saw the Xbox Glass, that reminded me of what Nintendo was talking about with their network capabilities. They were talking about the ability to have, while you're playing the game, you can pull out your gamepad, pause the game. Mind you, you're not turning the game off, you're pausing it.
Okay.
Right? Communicate with people online through the gamepad about the game. Alright?
Uh-huh.
Then get information, like say you're stuck in a part, get information about people on the game.
Okay.
Unpause the game. You never turn your game off and keep going with the information you just got.
Nice.
The gamepad, of course, has the built-in camera and microphone.
Okay.
They're showing how you could pause your game. Again, pause your game. Use that to do a video conference call to somebody else with the Wii U.
Oh, wow.
Ask them information
Okay.
about it. Then
All
jump
right.
back to your game.
Okay.
That was
All
cool.
right.
Then,
right.
with the Nintendo actual conference,
The conference...
they wanted to show you that they had third-party support. I feel like they did that not as well as they could have.
No.
They could have done that a hell of a lot
Not
better.
at all, actually.
But they show. Here's the thing:
No.
Darkstalkers was never coming out for the Wii. Batman: Arkham Asylum was never coming out for the Wii.
No.
Assassin's Creed 3 was never coming out
Mass
for the Wii.
Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3
That
was
was
never
a
coming out for the Wii.
surprise. It wasn't
But
going to be a Wii
what
game. They
what
didn't
console are these all coming out for? The Wii U.
Wii U.
They have now some third-party support. They
Yeah.
needed to do more.
They know
yes. It was not
because they
perfect
didn't have the
conference.
hardware to satisfy
They needed to do
the
more.
company to do
But
that.
they showed that the games that you they showed the games you currently like
Right.
are going to be coming out to it.
Right.
So you can be excited about that.
Yeah.
Tekken Tag 2
Yeah, that was really
coming
nice.
out on the Wii U.
I really like that.
During the
I
pre-presentation.
never thought ever that you get a deep
Tekken.
fighting game, a
Yeah.
Tekken game, into Nintendo. I never thought that would be like possible.
Yeah, then
that
you had-
really
Yeah.
surprised me. But what blew my mind was that I finally got to see Nintendo in HD with Pikmin, which was how they started the conference.
That was awesome. by the
And
way.
that Pikmin 3
that was awesome.
demonstration, I got wood. Seriously. I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe this is not only the first Pikmin game we've gotten in years.
Yep.
But then this is like the first HD game, first party game that we've seen an
From
actual
Nintendo.
and it looks great.
Yes, it does.
It looks great.
It
It's
does.
got both the gameplay that we love.
Yep.
Simplistic yet challenging, not like most of the other games that we play that are supposed to be like, well, bloody and it's like, oh, it looks like a kid's game, but obviously you missed the point of a Nintendo game if all you think it is a kid's game. In this case, it just looked amazing. And after that, it just went downhill. It started with that, and then they said that they were going to talk about 23 titles.
They said they would show in one way
They
or
would
another.
show
23
one way or
titles.
another.
Yes.
But they kept on saying that they weren't going to have enough time to
Yes.
talk about it.
Yes.
So Reggie kept saying, you got to go to e3.nintendo.com. And he said that, I think, like 8 times
They
during
spent
that conference.
probably 10 minutes of their conference saying they didn't have enough time in their conference. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And
It
then,
was
they
stupidly ridiculous.
said that they wanted to give people the opportunity that couldn't go to the conference
Okay, how
to
about-
attend, to get the
Yeah.
stuff from the conference. But you're forgetting that there are millions of people that are currently watching your conference. You're forgetting the people that attended to the conference. So
How about the 3DS user, the 3DS thing? I have like
2 years
I have
ago.
like 15 minutes talking about 3DS, and we spend 5 of it talking about how I don't have enough time
Two-
to talk about 3DS.
2 years ago, the 3DS is the hypest shit in the planet. Last year, they botched the release. They need a reason for people to buy a 3DS this year.
Let me tell you,
5 minutes talking about 3 games and a quick 10-15 second promo of third-party games
Let me tell you
that
what.
didn't get emphasized until another conference that they did the next day.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm surprised
mean,
about, and I think this would have like made Nintendo blow everything else out of the water.
Yeah.
Okay, 3DS has a peripheral right now. Okay.
Yeah.
You plug in, it gives you a second joystick
Yeah.
and a second set of LR buttons.
It's
right?
like an extended, yeah.
This is
I've seen-
Nintendo we're talking about. How often do they revamp their handheld hardware?
Never. They don't do it. Actually, they do it
All
lot.
the time.
Actually, all the time.
All the time.
They
Where
change
was the
it
new
in
3D
size. They
Where was the
change-
new 3DS model? I was expecting them to come out with a new 3DS model. Imagine they came out, they're like, we're going to talk about Wii U games.
Revamp.
Plus introduce a new 3DS model.
revamp the 3DS?
Imagine how hype
Nothing.
that would have been.
Nothing.
Imagine.
That would have been great.
I was so expecting
I would have
that.
been pissed because I,
Well,
like
I'm
a month,
pissed.
like a few months after I bought the 3DS, they reduced it in price. But I did get all the
games.
20
Yeah.
ambassadors.
Yeah.
Ambassador. I'm an ambassador.
I'm actually pissed because
I'm an
I've been
ambassador.
intentionally waiting to get a 3DS for the new version, and I was expecting it at E3.
I didn't predict that would have been something that would have been really cool though.
And yeah, and when
It
they
would've been
didn't
really
show
cool.
it, I was like, God damn it! I really don't want to get a 3DS when the new version comes out.
No.
But son of a bitch, they're just making me wait so
Yeah.
long right now. Like I already have 3 versions of the regular DS. I have the original DS plus a DS Lite
Yeah.
plus a DSi XL.
They never got the DSi XL.
I don't want
The
3
gimmick.
versions of the 3DS.
No. But the current version of it could use a little
Yeah.
readjustment.
And that's what I'm waiting for with the new one.
Which would be cool, but they didn't do that.
Yep.
But then again, nobody predicted. I think you're the first person who's mentioned that would have been something great to
I
see.
really thought it was coming. I thought that was going to be the E3 surprise.
But they didn't.
I really thought it was going to be the E3 surprise this year, and it did not come up.
Yeah. But back to the conference. The things that surprised me the most about Nintendo was what they didn't say. They didn't give us any details of the console. No technical specs.
I think those days are done. I honestly think those days are done. Companies are so paranoid about...
Well, Sony, when they first introduced the PlayStation 3, I remember that it was all tech specs.
All they talked about was...
Specs. Yeah, it was a 2-hour
all they
presentation.
talked about was cell processing. And the ideas behind cell processing.
Yeah.
And the amount of teraflops you're going to get out of your cell processing.
The duck demo.
Yeah. Real specs.
Nobody cares about those specs. Nobody cares.
You know what cares about those specs? PC guys.
That's what we
specs.
Do. We love the specs.
We
love frames per second shit. But when you're getting into a video game console, I'm not expecting them to come out and say... Oh,
we have a 2 gigabyte.
We have a 2 gigabyte processor.
We have 512 meg at
Well, I didn't want a Nintendo.
512-bit.
I didn't want a Nintendo to come out and say that. I wanted them to talk something about the console, acknowledge that this is a game console that will be using disc. How much internal storage does it have?
Yeah, that's fair.
Can you put external storage in it? Is it backwards compatible? They said that it was backwards compatible. But they sort of mentioned it once and they didn't do it again. Well, they said that they were not upscaling the graphics for the Wii games.
Correct.
But that's stuff we already knew. Now, they didn't mention... And then there's...
A hard drive space would have been nice.
Hard drive space would have been nice.
Yes.
But here's the obvious part that they missed out. They missed out on the price.
Yes.
They missed out on the release date.
Yes.
Which we're told it's coming this year, but I don't think it's coming out this year.
I wasn't expecting a release date yet. I don't
think it's coming out this year, guys. It's when you don't have enough games. I mean, they already botched the release for the 3DS. They made up for it, but that release no first party title worth talking about. But they missed an opportunity to get people excited about the Wii U, and they didn't get anybody excited on the Wii U. I literally just heard silence when they were swapping in back and forth, when they went to that horrendous Just Dance 4 demo with Reggie.
You mean the Let's Sing one too?
Oh.
I think I can't call it for this year or next year yet.
God.
I think that they could do it, man.
Sing. Why?
I think they could do it.
Why?
I think they could do it because...
Why TePig?
Think about how many third-party games there are right now that people already want.
SingStar is a game that everybody...
And
the Karaoke Revolution game...
All right, real quick.
The singing games are popular.
What if the Wii U launches with Pikmin 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I hope that they do. Which they didn't say anything about Pikmin 3 on its release date.
But what if it did? And then let's say Nintendo Land boxes with it. I'm going to assume it. We'll go over that in a moment because I want to talk about that, but we'll assume it boxes with it. Let's say on release date we have Mass Effect 3 on release date, Assassin's Creed 3 on release date, Darkstalkers 2 on release date,
and how about Arkham City?
Yeah, and Arkham City
Edition.
Now, Nintendo doesn't have a shit ton of titles put on release date, but if that was the lineup, would you not call that a fair lineup for release date?
That would be the most kick-ass starting lineup for a launch title.
I think
because
the point is,
all these games are titles that are acclaimed blockbuster successes.
And Nintendo had to prove that they had third-party support. And if you have a lineup that looks like
Ubisoft's
this...
giving them a lot of love.
Yeah.
Ever
since last year, this is, I think, big. I think this works.
Yeah.
I think if you can say that this is your starting lineup, this is your day open, your release date lineup, that this could actually work. I think that's what Nintendo had to prove. Yeah. I think that's what they were trying to prove. I think they could have done a hell of a lot better improving it, but I think I think it was the right direction, but not done well enough.
The problem also is that they didn't give us anything new. They didn't give us anything new. They didn't give us anything. Everything, but that we knew what was going in. The only like Pikmin, it was revealed way before that. That goes earlier back to what everybody was saying. We were saying is like they just gave away everything that was going to happen in E3, left no surprises. We were still shocked by a few things. than when we saw them actually get executed. But what amazed me the most about Nintendo is they didn't elaborate a lot last year, and they didn't elaborate at all this year either.
Yeah.
2 years, 2 E3 conferences, and we're still wondering, is Wii U a worth getting? And Victor's right. Third-party support is going to be amazing at launch.
Hopefully,
with all these games, if Mass Effect 3 comes out on release day, if Assassin's Creed comes out on release day, if Darksiders comes out on release day, if Pikmin 3 comes out on release day, if all this happens, that could really do a really good thing for the Wii U. But they wouldn't get excited. I mean, there were games like Zombie U that has a...
Oh my god, it looks so good, actually.
That was really good.
I think Zombie U looks so good.
It's a survival...
It looks...
A zombie apocalypse.
Survival horror in a survival horror sense.
Survival horror.
One-hit kill? That's amazing.
One-hit kill.
That's amazing. That excites me.
You do need to survive.
That excites me.
All right.
I want to segue something real quick, and I know I'm going to cause you massive amounts of pain here, but you said something that makes me think this is the perfect segue point.
Yeah.
They've yet to prove the Wii U. They haven't proven anything yet. And that's going to make me want to segue into Nintendo Land.
I think we got to stop the video because this is going to break into a moment. So
Nintendo.
Let me TePig.
Stop for it, man.
Stop that! All right, we're back.
And we're talking about Nintendo Land.
We're gonna talk about Nintendo Land with TePig
and Bowser
and Boo Buddy on his head.
That's right.
So tell me, Victor, why am I going to give a crap about Nintendo Land? And I'm not going to give a crap about it after you say it, but yeah, you can try.
There was one key line. You don't actually have to care about Nintendo Land and want to play it. That's not important.
No, okay, go
ahead.
There
was one key line that Reggie said that was all the point of Nintendo Land, and the reason why they spent so much of the show on it. And yes, I didn't like it as a gamer because you don't need to sell me with Nintendo Land. You need to sell me with good first-party titles and
Lego City.
Support. Lego
like
City,
something like Lego City. That got me really excited.
Yes, that looked awesome.
Why not?
But for the masses, which is what E3 is about, because it's a press conference. What Reggie said about Nintendo Land, he said, when you played the Wii, we tried to explain it, but people did not understand it.
Right.
Until they bought their Wii and they played Wii Sports. And he said this specifically. This really caught my attention because this rung true to me. And they played Wii Sports and they played tennis on Wii Sports. And when you played tennis on Wii Sports, you understood then what the Wii was all about.
In fact,
it clicked. It made sense.
In fact, it clicked in such a way that it made people kill cats, break windows. I broke my window. I actually broke my window. I got into it so.
I have friends that I play competitive Wii Sports with. Like
I got into it so deep that the strap it came with, I was like, it literally slipped out of my hand. I was like, and this is post after I had heard of everything, and this was me being careful. But the thing is that without the cover, it does slip away. You don't realize.
I've never had a problem, but that's me.
But that was before all that, and he's right. I mean, I guess if you want Nintendo Land to be a title to make you understand
what the Wii U is about,
what the Wii U is capable of with its Miiverse.
I think the key thing is not the Miiverse; it's the controller.
It's a controller.
The Nintendo Land is going to teach you what the controller can do.
The controller and how to get into it. But the thing is that when the Wii came out and people started getting into it with Wii Sports, they did understand. But Wii Sports wasn't a major selling point of why you got the Wii.
No.
Zelda was.
Yes.
So you don't buy the Wii to play Wii Sports. It's added in there because it's a way to sort of like wean you into this concept of motion gaming.
Yes.
It's a good idea.
Yes.
But after a year of anticipation, after the last conference, when you get through all this, like, I wonder what's going to happen. You build this up like, okay, we're finally going to learn about the Wii U. Only to end the conference with Nintendo Land just being this simple little hubby.
It's a casual game.
It's a casual theme park, Nintendo theme park game where you play mini games. Now, on the one hand, I could go with Victor and say, yes, this is a good idea because people will learn how to play with the
That's
controller.
why I said, even though they did not announce it in E3, but that's why I said that let's assume Nintendo Land launches boxes with the console.
Yeah.
I seriously think it will, box with the console.
It will be. They already said it was a launch title.
Here's the important thing, I think.
Like, I would never buy that game if it wasn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Never.
I wouldn't either. But touching
Ever.
upon what you said is that we had Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
And Twilight Princess was amazing. I think that at launch, we will launch, because Nintendo, they wanted to recreate the Wii.
Yeah.
They want everyone to have one of these in their household, just like they did with the Wii.
Yeah, they didn't want it to completely go away from the model. They wanted to give you a reason to make it like it even more.
They want to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So at launch, I think the Wii U will launch with Nintendo Land, so that everyone that buys it, including all the moms and the girlfriends that don't game or the boyfriends that don't game, etc., will have Wii U to understand it. And I think that's why I said, I think that at launch date, Pikmin 3 will be there, and that will be the reason for you and I to go pick up a Wii U. Because just like with Twilight Princess, we'll be like,
well, I'm going to pick it up
Pikmin
anyway.
3 so
I would
bad.
pick it up anyway, but because, I mean, Nintendo's never disappointed me personally in regards to the console. It's the one thing they never mess up. Yeah. In my opinion, that's what they never mess up.
Speaking of consoles...
Go
ahead.
But Nintendo Land, let me touch this again, because Nintendo Land, I thought Nintendo Land was a huge insult. Because Nintendo Land, in spite of everything that we just talked about, the good things, that is not something you waste your time on E3. You say from the very beginning, you don't have enough time to talk about what you want to talk about.
Yes.
You don't touch on the third-party games too much. You mention them, they're going to be there, fine. The first-party games, you touch on them. You don't show us a gameplay like New Super Mario Bros. U. They only just showed it, bam, done, goodbye. Go to the next topic. But to focus so much
on Nintendo Land,
which is basically almost as short as it'll be. It's more like a tech demo almost.
Yeah.
How I was mad. I was frustrated because
the amount of time spent.
No
on
Metroid, no Kirby, no Star Fox, no Super Smash Bros, no Zelda, no Mario.
I'm not mad at that. Let me tell you why I'm not mad at that.
I didn't expect them to tell me when all these games are going to come out. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But to give us Pikmin at the beginning, get our hopes up, and then slowly deflate them, and then all of a sudden they get
give us Mario. They get 2D Mario. I mean, it's solid 2D Mario. And
I love that.
I'm gonna be honest. I love 2D Mario titles.
I love that.
But here's the thing about Nintendo as a software developer. Nintendo is one of my favorite software developers. In fact, I may not buy. I have a PS3 and a Wii right now. And I had a PS2 and a GameCube, and I had a PS1 and a Nintendo 64. And I had a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis.
The first console round for PlayStation 3 was the PlayStation 3. I had gotten lended or borrowed, but never actually owned a PlayStation until I got the third one. Without the backwards compatibility. Thank you, Sony.
Being a huge PC gamer, I honestly may not buy another PlayStation console. I seriously don't think I will.
Probably not.
I like my PlayStation 3 mainly because it's a Blu-ray player. Honestly, it's my Netflix machine.
Yep.
I watch more Netflix on it and play more movies on it than I play games on it. I PC game most of the time. I will not miss the Nintendo console because they are one of my favorite software developers, and I know I cannot get that software anywhere else. And the thing about Nintendo that makes it one of my favorite software developers are Nintendo, Valve, Blizzard. Nintendo, Valve, and Blizzard. What's the thing all three of these developers have in common? This is why you don't see all these titles here. They do not push games out. They will sit on a title until that title is ready to come out. They don't care how long it takes.
Well,
They will scrap games mid-development.
I really hope that, as a side note, Valve...
Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3.
Where's it at, Gabe?
Nothing!
Gaben.
You didn't say anything on E3 either.
Gaben, where's
Nothing! Come on, man!
Gaben? But, yeah.
Reggie was ready. What about you?
Gaben's body is not ready.
Gabe's body is so not ready.
He's actually lost a lot of weight, to be fair, but yeah.
He's getting it ready. He's gonna get it ready.
But that's why I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Nintendo sits. They make sure their game is ready before they show it to you. So I don't expect a lot of Nintendo titles. I expect to see one main title every E3. The fact that I got Pikmin and New Super Mario Bros. Wii U was actually surprising to me. But yeah, I'm not surprised about it.
Well, those they gave us something.
Yeah,
but that's why I didn't like the conference, because
they did spend a lot.
They
of time
gave
on
us.
They spent like half the conference on Nintendo. On Nintendo Land. They spent a lot of time.
They really just
like half the conference on it.
They spend so much time, and then you hear them like say the Nintendo Land is the best thing since Jesus. No, it's not. It's a little hubby world where you can play mini games and sort of do the same thing as in the Miiverse. It's not groundbreaking. It's basically PlayStation Home. That's it. I've just deflated you, Nintendo Land. It's a basic Nintendo version of PlayStation Home. It's the most useless thing ever, I might add, and
it wasn't for us. And that was the problem.
Nintendo Land really...
At the E3 conference for Nintendo was Nintendo Land. And Nintendo Land was not for us. And that's what the problem is.
No.
It wasn't for us.
But it wasn't for anybody else either. I mean, just like... Here's the thing. Bothered me was that this is the result of a 2-year wait.
But look, it's not just Kotaku that's at the E3 press conference. You see how many people were there?
Oh yeah,
that's Vanity Fair. That's New York Times. These people don't know anything about games.
Media consumers. I mean, yeah, it's like I know that
they're gonna come back and they're gonna put in their paper Nintendo Land, blah 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 blah. Mothers and fathers
they were going crazy for Vanity Fair. They'll release like an article saying Nintendo Land is the best thing since Jesus.
Exactly. It's like sliced bread, meet Nintendo Land.
Yeah, because the thing is that what we talked about earlier is like this isn't just a thing for gamers, but because the stigma of E3 has always been the main attractions are the games.
Yes.
This is a game expo.
Yeah.
So it may be called Electronic Entertainment Expo, and they may not be the only game thing people there to do that. But
we want more.
CES, that's what it's for. CES, that's what it's for. But this was supposed to be gaming. So, but my bottom line is that even though there are so many other people that are not just other gamers and press that cover other games, just like the people that are going to be buying this, the majority are the hardcore gamers.
Well,
and the ones that buy it in day one are and I want to get this console, but you're not going to convince me with Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
And then Reggie gives us a fireworks display from Nintendo Land at the end and was like, "Oh, go fuck yourself, Reggie. I'm sorry." Reggie, you get your body ready and you give us this crap at the end. Like, no. I was really mad. I actually did a rant video of myself ranting immediately after the conference.
Yep. I remember seeing it on YouTube. I was at work. I've been working from home this week, so I've been watching E3 at home, like with the volume real low.
Raging.
I remember going to YouTube shortly after the conference.
Or
Fico, Nintendo, blah 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 blah. I was like, holy shit, already, dude?
Yeah, I mean,
the conference just ended.
I did the conference and I recorded it. I didn't edit it, and I put the video almost within the hour. I started like dressed up like a mad bomber. It's like with shades and stuff. I had a headache,
This
so
guy
I
was
wore.
Ted Kaczynski over here.
Yeah, and then boom, Nintendo Land Rage. But anyway, in conclusion, Nintendo blown opportunity to impress the gamers. They impress the people from Vanity Fair. That's great. I'm sure the women who pick up this for the kids are going to be super happy when they play DK's thing.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing. I think all three companies had a goal, and I think all three of them achieved their goal.
They did.
But I don't think any of them impressed us.
No.
And I think that's where the big difference.
Well, I was
with
impressed
E3
with
sits.
Sony. I don't know if you can speak
I
here,
honestly-
but I honestly liked
wasn't.
Sony's the most.
I honestly wasn't. I mean,
But yeah,
Beyond impressed me.
But-
Beyond impressed the hell out of me.
beyond impressed. But then there were the games they didn't talk about, like Watch Dogs.
Yes.
Watch Dogs. That was Ubisoft. I didn't see the Ubisoft's conference.
I didn't watch all of it either, but I saw.
But
Watch
nobody
Dogs.
expected Watch Dogs,
Came out
and
of fucking left field, right
and
field,
everybody
yeah.
was saying this is the best game of the show.
It was.
Watch
Hands
Dogs.
down, no question.
Watch Dogs. It
Better
was
than
amazing.
Beyond. Better than Beyond. That's saying a
Beyond,
lot.
it's better than Beyond.
Yes.
It looks better than Beyond. But Beyond, we only got a little taste of it. But Watch Dogs, wow. Everything about Watch Dogs is awesome. I mean, like, wow. And then there are, like, other games that were on the floor, like Borderlands 2, which I'm so super psyched. I'm definitely excited. You mentioned an indie game, Xenoclash 2,
Oh,
which is
man,
a
I'm
favorite
so hyped.
amongst us who play Steam
I'm
a lot.
so hyped about
Xenoclash.
that.
And it's Xenoclash 2 is coming out. Then you get like the indie games, any other games that caught your eye? I mean, because
That
a
was
few.
mainly it. But I'll tell you what I think you want to look for
Yeah.
coming up. I think you want to look for Watch Dogs.
Watch
No
Dogs.
question about it. That was at E3.
Watch
Go
Dogs. Yeah.
Google the 10-minute long gameplay video. This is amazing.
I
looking.
saw in clips, but wow.
This is
Wow.
the best looking game at E3 this
And-
year. It blew my mind. Nobody was expecting this. Everyone's talking about it now.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what it's like? It's like the original Deus Ex updated for modern day.
I thought that too.
It's like
I
Deus
thought
Ex
that
updated
too.
for modern day.
I was like thinking, I couldn't help but feel this is
Deus
Ex.
all over again.
And
yes.
Not. I was very excited, really happy, and
Amazing looking.
Amazing looking.
The wind effects in Chicago, especially taking place in Chicago. I mean, I think that was a conscious choice to show off the graphical effects, the capabilities of it.
Yeah.
The wind effects in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
The graphics in general were very good.
Oh, yeah.
Lighting effects were solid.
Yeah.
When you're blowing stuff up, the flame effects,
Yeah.
the lighting reflections
Yeah,
off
we
of it
were
were
very
solid.
impressed. Everything about that demo.
And then
was
your
perfect.
options. It's one of those games where you can choose how you want to move from point A to point B,
Yep.
which is why it reminds me of Deus Ex.
Exactly.
It was
Too much,
amazing.
a lot of freedom, and that's what we need more of.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
We need a lot more freedom.
Yeah, but basically,
We should probably segue into...
wraps it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap up Nintendo. We should segue into games we're looking for. Let's just say games we're looking forward to E3 or otherwise that are coming out, like things that have been announced.
Okay.
That we know are coming out, and we can segue into that, and that could
Okay.
be the wrap up of it.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
we're gonna burn the hell out of your camera.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll segue into that again. Other games,
I will unfortunately
And-
not be drinking another Smith Wicks
because
next
that's
video,
the last one.
Because that's the sixth one.
He's a drunk.
6 of 6.
He drunk them
Obviously.
all. He
Obviously.
drunk them all.
I'm drunk.
But he can still talk like a smart person. So he's because he brought TePig out and
And
could stop
Bowser.
playing with TePig. And Bowser's he's just lying there.
Guess what he does? He's the
That's
man.
what he does. He waits till the end of the
He's
game,
gonna
and then
hate
he's
it.
just like, okay.
Hey,
to
brush
go to
my
work.
shoulder off real quick.
Yeah, let's get this bitchin' party started.